Welcome to Supply Chain Dialog, podcast di mana kita bisa diskusi, belajar, dan saling sharing mengenai isu-isu terkait supply chain management dan juga logistik. Saya, Erika, saya akan memandu acara untuk episode hari ini. Sebelum kita ngobrol lebih lanjut mengenai diskusi kita hari ini, jangan lupa untuk follow semua sosmed ISCA Indonesia untuk mendapatkan informasi terkini dan juga kegiatan-kegiatan yang dilaksanakan oleh ISCA Indonesia. Baik, topik diskusi kita hari ini adalah terkait dengan Sales and Operation Planning, atau kita lebih mengenalnya dengan S&OP. Dan hari ini kita akan lebih fokus membicarakan mengenai bagaimana kita bisa excel in a graphically and challenging market. To discuss this problem, we have our guest here, Mr. Ryan Ching.
Hello.
Mr. Ryan Ching is Business Development Director ID in Slimstock, who is also an expert in S&OP with extensive experience in managing diverse and complex supply chain. Welcome, Mr. Ryan Ching.
Thank you, Bu. Makasih semua.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I think I'm very excited to be here today.
Okay, thank you for
Yeah.
coming. Maybe before we start, you can introduce yourself and also introduce Slimstock, because Slimstock is one of our sponsors in this
Yep.
episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll start to introduce myself. Yeah. So my name is Ryan. I'm actually working on behalf of Slimstock. We started the office in Indonesia this year. But it's not a startup company ya. Slimstock-nya udah di dunia ini 31 tahun.
Wow.
HQ-nya di Belanda.
Hmm.
Okay, regional HQ-nya di Singapura 2016. Last year we started to be here. Kenapa kita ada rencana seperti ini kan? Because we saw opportunity-nya di Indonesia, especially like supply chain kan, S&OP-nya requirement-nya semakin meningkat. A lot of companies in Indonesia starts to realize they cannot use a conventional way of doing. They cannot just use experience. They cannot just use Excel. They need something much better because with all the changes in supply chain kan, they need something better. So that's why for us itu Slimstock-nya ya, fokusnya itu lebih ke inventory optimization software. Okay, we are here to help companies to optimize the inventory. On top of the supply chain software side, kita juga seperti consultant. So S&OP consultant, we go in, we study business process, we try to help the customers to clean up a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a quick sharing
Okay.
of the
Thank
company
you.
nih.
Maybe sebelum kita berbicara lebih banyak terkait S&OP, its
Yeah.
challenge, trend, and also strategies, maybe we can start first the basic question first. What is S&OP and why it's important for the companies
Okay.
to do this S&OP?
That's a very nice question, yeah. Because S&OP is something a bit more advanced, yeah. Sales and operation planning itu for companies kan, is basically integration between different business unit. So let's say a company who's doing trading, they need to work together between supply chain. They need to work together dengan logistic. They need to work together dengan sales and marketing. Kan, they need to work together dengan procurement, finance, management. So at least 6 stakeholders ya di dalam. Tapi kalau mereka belum ada proses S&OP yang udah terintegrasi semua orang ini, everyone is all over the place. So in reality kita lihatnya banyak case study ya yang seperti ini, banyak perusahaan that do not have a proper S&OP management yet. Okay. Another thing, I'll actually bring it one step before. Sebelum S&OP itu we call it S&OE. Sales and Operation Execution. So sales and operation execution itu is the day by day kind of operation kan. What's your demand forecasting, benar gak? What's your replenishment, benar gak? Example, in Indonesia we have companies with lots of stores. How are they replenishment to every single store? Itu benar gak? Excess stocknya udah kurang gak? So KPI-nya must be there. They must have a good process. They must have a good base foundation before they can go up to S&OP planning. S&OP itu basically top-down approach.
Oh, top-down approach.
S&OE itu bottom-up. Kalau example, we build a house ya, foundationnya gak benar, the top tentu shaking.
Okay.
So that's where I think for us, basically the S&OP is the integration of all business unit, but it has to a good foundation, S&OE to do.
Okay, so it's very complex because you have to align all these different function in company.
Correct.
Yeah, so not only need to align all these different function in company, sometimes company also face different market
Yes.
different region. For example, maybe market in Singapore have a different characteristic with market in Indonesia. So how do you foresee in implementing S&OP across different across different region, across different market? How to
Okay.
deal with it? How you
Um,
deal with it?
that's a very interesting question now because when I understand you correctly, I will break it into three.
Mm,
Okay. First one, what's the challenge in implementing S&OP first?
yeah.
Okay, to a lot of companies itu paling penting ya, you don't talk about different market, different culture yet. Pertama itu, are you ready to even implement S&OP? Okay, usually when I do consultation, I will talk to the customers. Management itu ready belum? This is the most key in all companies. Kalau management belum ready, no point. Right? If there's no top-down push from the management to enforce the people to do it, orang kan tenteranya kan they will not move around. Okay, kedua, ada budget gak? Do they have the money to do it? Because a lot of people want to do it, but they don't have the capacity. Ketiga, knowledge-nya ada gak? People. Right? As much as you want to implement an S&OP process, your people must have the right knowledge. Kalau mereka masih at the level of just the basic, they don't have the advanced knowledge. Itu kan, you need to upgrade them first. Okay? Last one, do they have the technology to do it? So typically, I will ask the customer, okay, I'll just throw to maybe 10 people kan in the office. Semua orang tulis, tell me your score. I can actually evaluate in the team itu understanding of their own process itu, of their own awareness itu atau readiness ya, itu udah sampai tahap mana. Okay, so that's generically for all companies ya, throughout the whole world. Okay, then your next question is, now on top of applying S&OP itu within the company, now I add more complexity. Different region lah, different culture lah. You brought a very nice point. The way Indonesia works is different from the way Singapore works. Singapore is a small country. Indonesia is huge. So many different islands, so many different archipelagos. You have so many internal transfers. Complexity di Indonesia itu lebih rumit dari di Singapore. Right? The scale of the business in Indonesia is way more than Singapore. Consumer behavior even internally di Indonesia, Jawa, Sumatera, different. So if you want to apply S&OP across different country, okay, and even different culture, you need to first understand the country first. You need to first understand the culture di sana. Recommendation kalau bisa, at least you need to have a team member di sana yang understand the local region. Okay. Let's say in Indonesia, Sumatera have one team yang tahu rules and regulation di sana. How does the people behave? That's where I think potentially is a bit harder, yeah, getting the right people is hard. Yeah.
So it will need adaptation in each different countries. Maybe we'll have different approach for the S&OP.
Yeah. So S&OP is a top-down approach, right? From top-down approach, management usually don't go into details, right? So, but they need to put in the right process supaya data yang mereka dapatkan di paling atas itu benar. So, example, the way we see, let's say I come from Singapore kan, I try to implement the way Singapore works on Indonesia without understanding Indonesia. It will not work. Right, so I need to put a localized team yang bisa faham kondisi di Indonesia, the way the logistics works in Indonesia, the way the customer behave in Indonesia. So example, Indonesia bagusnya Lebaran, syuk. Always. Okay, the demand is always going up.
Very high.
Singapore, not so much. Right? Here, maybe in China, during Chinese New Year, it will spike. There'll be 1 month period of not working. But here, not so much. So, every single country itu kan ada culture beda ya. So, you need to really understand the culture before you can start implementing the right process of S&OP di sana. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
interesting.
Yes, that's adding the complexity because
It's very
aligning all
interesting.
the function is hard, and then you have to make an adaptation for each region, each culture, and others. It's very hard, but not only internally, because when you already make an S&OP planning, you already make an S&OP decision in internal, you also need to make sure that when you make this plan, the supplier also can provide all the requirement for the production, for example, and then we also need to make sure that the distribution we can need to make sure that they will deliver all the finished product right on time,
Yep.
right on quality, and right on the quantity. How to handle this? Speaking of collaboration, because we do not only talk about collaboration inside the company,
Yep.
but we also need to make a collaboration with outside
Yeah.
partner. How to improve this supply chain visibility and responsiveness in S&OP?
I think number one, S&OP is good, yeah, because it's internal alignment kan. The next thing you just mentioned is to external kan, you need visibility. So how confident or how comfortable is the company to be able to share this to their key suppliers?
Yeah.
So if the key supplier do not know what's going on in your company, then they can't react. They don't know what to prepare. So if you are able to create that data sharing from your end, let's say I'm talking about a FMCG company, retail outlets, dari customer di store, di point of sale-nya, okay, sampai ke informasinya, ke penjualannya, bisa sampai ke gudang, bisa sampai ke national DC, bisa sampai ke supplier. And if all this information are being shared, okay, with the external vendor, example ya, the transporter, kan they can start to see, oh, actually I need to start preparing. Oh, Lebaran udah mau datang, I need to increase my fleet. Okay, let's say for manufacturing, I can see a lot of customers start to buy this product. I may need to start increasing my production soon. Because in supply chain, it's always about the bullwhip effect.
Okay.
Bullwhip effect at the customer side, minimal. Okay? So as you see, the bullwhip effect, if the customer's fluctuation starts to go higher and higher, when you go all the way to manufacturer yang kena the last one. Right? Because they are the one buying all the raw material. And the moment the market changes aja, all the raw material cannot be used.
Also,
So that's where that whole integration of data ya, or at least when you say visibility of data kan, itu pentingnya supaya semua stakeholder itu is a partnership ya.
Okay.
It's always about partnership. If I can share to you data, you help me to cover what's the potential coming. Right? So that's where I think it's important if from transporter, from the shipping line, if they are also sharing their data to you. Example ya, shipping line-nya kan udah telat ya semua. All the container is getting delayed. And they are sharing this information in advance to the customer. Kan the customer can start to think about it. Do I still want to wait for the shipment or should I get a different supplier? Should I air freight the item in instead? So they can make a decision di sana. Tapi kalau semua orang itu have a very narrow mentality, everyone is only on their own, kan everyone take a loss di sana.
Okay.
It's not about collaboration anymore.
Yeah. The collaboration also include the data sharing.
Yes.
So how, in your opinion, how collaboration, data sharing will improve collaboration and also performance for the company?
So usually when we talk about this, when we talk about data sharing, you talk about vendors, you talk about partners, it's about collaboration kan. Everyone have the same objective. Everyone wants to do well at what they're doing. So for the customers or the companies that is doing trading, example, they want to earn bigger revenue. They want to get happy customers. They want to make sure every time the customers ke store mereka atau go to their office, they have the item. Itu kan yang pertama. Okay? For the transporter, they want every delivery be on time, on target. For the warehouse, I want to make sure my things is in and out, perfect, accurate, on time, on target. For my raw material or my manufacturing side, I'm producing things on time, on target. Okay, gak ada delay, my production tu bagus. So, as long as you have, like example ya, one thing good about S&OP planning itu, as long as kita bisa ada satu key objective, okay, in S&OP, the key objective, first one, most company is talking about sales.
Okay.
Next year, sales targetnya berapa? Okay, with the inflation, with the price increase, how much are we forecasting? With this increase in forecast, they are going to share this information to logisticnya, how much warehouse space I need? Is there increase or not? Transporter, do I need to increase fleet? Procurement, do I need to buy more? Do I need to increase more? Supply chain, how much quantity do I need to make sure kalau ada events and promotions? Finance, do I have enough cash flow or not? Itu paling penting. Finance is always a very important person here. And if all of the team members are collaboration, even if you are sharing this to your external vendor kan, mereka juga benefit. They can help you to prepare, right? They can help you to prepare in advance before you fall into an inventory situation or any inventory risk. But by not sharing itu kan, the vendor is always at the sudden shock state. Kaget. Why suddenly there's so much things going on? I can't react because I have not prepared. So as long as all of the partners, I won't say all, tapi maybe good to choose some key partners, that can really help you to, or help the companies to grow together. Itu penting.
So the key of the collaboration is data sharing that will help to improve the S&OP to the company performance.
Yeah, that's true. And also the common objective itu penting.
Oh, common objective. They have the same common objective.
Yes. Usually people are resistant to change because they are afraid. Afraid itu kan knowledge baru. They don't know whether they can do well or not. Kalau kerja mereka udah santai atau complacent, udah happy kan, why would I want to change?
Yeah.